Hello and welcome to another episode of Real Talk. My name is Bryce Mitchell. I am the Sales and Marketing Assistant here at Pilbara Real Estate. And today I'm joined with my guest host, my second boss, and the Sales and Marketing Manager at Pilbara Real Estate, Naomi Mitchell. Say hello to the people, Mum.
Hello, Mum. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Bryce.
Yeah, I think we needed to get you on.
Yes, and before I forget, because I will forget, that's what I'm like, I just want to say a big thank you to Rob for letting me shimmy into his seat for this episode. I really appreciate it, Rob. I value how much you trust me and allow me to shimmy in and take over things here and there. So thanks, Rob.
Well, here at Real Talk, we love to have a bit of fun and we cover how the market has changed each month. We talk about some real estate news and we aim to educate you in all areas of the industry, from sales to leasing and from residential to commercial. We love to hear what you guys have to say, so make sure you subscribe for the next episode and leave a comment below or email me via the email that's on screen now, which is ea@pre.com.au. I think we're going to jump straight into getting real. Usually we would do this month in real estate, but I think we should get to know you first. Let's get into getting real. I'm gonna do it live. We don't usually do the intro?
Yes. You're going to do it live?
Coming to you live from our studio in Karatha, this is Getting Real.
You have worked in real estate for a long time. I know these things because you're my mum. How long to be precise?
Oh, I actually couldn't tell you the exact amount. I haven't done a count for a long time. I would say over 15 years, but that's spread over many years.
Yeah.
So all my earlier years from 18 till pretty much ready to travel and have children, so mid to higher 20s was real estate. And then once my children were born and I sort of went back into it again in your young years. So on and off, a lot.
Having worked for so many agencies, what are some of the key takeaways you've found through some of the key people you've met?
Yeah, there's definitely some key people that I will always remember in real estate. And I have been lucky to work for so many amazing people and I've learned a lot on the way. But there are some certain people who I definitely think of. One was the very first person that introduced me to property management. Her name was Anna Ladyman at Century 21 Advanced Realty in Bunbury. Anna was a gun at property management, kind of like a Rottweiler with lipstick at the same time. She was pretty ferocious and pretty vicious, but she taught me that you can be firm but at the same time still have respect and care for the people, which is so important in property management. It's a fine line that I think some can struggle with, that you've got to be firm, you've got to be onto things, but there is a way to do that and still have respect and care for people. And all her tenants just loved her, just literally loved her, and so did all her owners. She actually went on to consult for companies, going into their companies to better their systems and sort of dig in and sort things out in their property management departments. And she was the lady who taught me, so I was very lucky to be taught by her at the start. Another one, if I can say another one, Greg Gardner, Summit Realty, Southwest. I worked for Greg in my early 20s, and then again in between children. I'd had you, I was pregnant with your brother, so I just wanted a little bit of work, something to do, get me out of the house a couple of days a week, so I worked with him then. And then again, after our second stint living here in Karatha, when I was ready to sort of start getting back into real estate, he took me back for the third time, which was fantastic. But what I learnt from Greg is team culture. He was always about the team. I don't even know if it was a conscious effort or it's just the way he is. I never really thought about it at the time. But his team had so much respect for him, but he gave so much time, respect, money back to his team at the same time. We worked bloody hard for him. I worked really hard for him, and I feel like everyone around me always did too, because we wanted to give him what he was always giving us, So we worked
That
hard.
give and return sort of relationship.
Yeah, and we played really hard too. We had some really fun times back in the day in real estate in Bunbury back then. But
Okay.
yeah, he's taught me so much about team culture.
We work hard, we play hard. Sometimes we play hard when we should be working hard, right?
What areas of the industry have you worked in?
I don't think there's one bit I haven't worked in. It would be what haven't I worked
Right.
in? And I think I've done every part of real estate there is to do. Obviously, you know, way back when I was, 17 or 18, starting on reception, I've been a property management assistant, a property manager, a trust account manager, an office manager, a sales rep, an assistant to a sales rep, a sales associate. I even had 5 years working in conveyancing. I've pretty much, lived and breathed real estate for a lot of time.
And now it's your second time at PRE, but it's your first time in the centre spotlight regarding sales. Why is it that you've only entered this position now?
That's a really good question, and I'll try and answer it quite quickly if I can. I've always loved working with people. I've always loved real estate, but in my younger years, I also loved my social life and me time. I actually dabbled in sales pre-children, pre-marriage, and for me, I did it for a very quick, short time, got a heap of listings on, got them under contract, and thought, this isn't fun. I don't want to work Saturdays and Sundays. I don't want to work after hours. I've got a life to lead. So I moved back out of sales and into more property management or sales administration. Now I do have time. My focus obviously during my children's younger years was my children, so I could never really give sales all it needs.
Yeah.
But you don't really need me anymore, neither does your brother. So I'm finally coming into my time again, and I'm not out partying on weekends, so I am available for work. So it's just, I've been doing sales behind the scenes here at PRE
Yeah.
for, 18 months, 2 years. All our buyers would know us, but to the public eye, I haven't been out there as a face, but now it's time.
I mean, real estate has changed so much over the years. What are some things that have changed massively since you entered the game?
Oh my golly, so much. Technology, of course, is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Which would be, in so many aspects, technology, the sort of obviously databases, CRMs, and that side of it, which are meant to make things easier, but I feel we actually spend a lot of time on them.
Yeah.
But with technology, you know, when I think back about the first sale I ever did, you know, the client comes in to sign the offer, the buyer, you come meet you in the office, you sit down, you're actually writing out the paperwork, they're signing it, then you jump in the car, drive over to the owner of the property, meet them in their home. They want a counter offer, so you just cross out that amount, write another one in, they initial it, jump in the car, head over to see the buyer now at their house or their place of work, and then you're going backward and forward a couple of times. Now, and it's kind of sad that we've removed those face-to-faces, it's just a flick of a button on the computer or on the phone.
Yeah, and I think things like that make us more busy. So if you think about it, if you could only do like maybe one contract, maybe two a day, if you're having to go back and forth, it's time consuming. Now it's, I'm going to flick 10 of these through DocuSign a day, but now that's 10 things you have to deal with. And I think we make ourselves more busy with these more efficient time savers, essentially, because we have more time to fill in.
And another thing for me is marketing, because I love the marketing side of real estate, something I've always enjoyed. I actually recently came across some old marketing flyers of the first house I ever listed.
Right.
And the way that they were done then compared to how they're done now, it just looks so, I don't know, like a 10-year-old did it to what we were doing then to what we do now. But also the fact that the newspaper, so my first job in real estate, you know, when I was 17, 18 on reception, was all the sales reps would have to give me all their advertising wording. I'd have to type it all up on a Word document, send it off to the newspaper. I think the photos, I don't think we could email them. I think I used to duck across the road because that company was on the same street as the newspaper. I'd take a USB over with the photos of the properties, and we never ever said the street name in the advert. Otherwise, people wouldn't call. And so then they would call. Newspaper goes out Thursday, the Southwestern Times, and then, by, 10, 11 a.m. Saturday morning, the phone's ringing, and I'm constantly having to find out what ad they're calling about. Oh, you're calling about ad 6? Okay. That's blah, blah, blah. Quick, which sales rep is that? Pop it through to them, or which sales rep's on duty, which is how it used to be done.
Right.
So that was really, really different to how we do things now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now a lot of it's email. Like we do get call inquiries about properties, but a lot of it's through like whatever they see the property on. If you see it on realestate.com, you'll do an inquiry through realestate.com. We deal with it on our end through one big system, but there's not as much of that calling as much as there would have been then.
Correct, definitely not. I would say 80% of our inquiry is an email.
At least, yeah.
And that's how people want to communicate now.
Yeah, because you can send multiple. You're not, I'm calling this person. This is the time I'm now spending. I'm going to call this person. It's click, 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 click. Oh, look, I'm now looking at 5 different properties.
Correct, yeah. And then when you call them, they say, which property did I inquire about?
Let's move on to this month in real estate. Here we talk about what has happened this month in the world of real estate with a few prepared topics that usually it's myself and Rob, but it's going to be myself and Naomi today have talked about over the past month. Can you give us the current state of the market, bit of a rundown of the sales market?
Yeah, well, I had a look on RP Data, a program that we use, to just compare where we're at this year in comparison to last year. Because it feels really busy, but really tight at the moment.
Yeah.
And I had a look, and in August of 2024, there were 48 sales of residential property in postcode 6714. And in September of 2024, very similar, there was 44 sales of residential property in postcode 6714. Now, remembering that figure, we're nearly at 50 in August of 2024. But in August this year, the last month, that was half with only 25 sales, which is crazy to think. August 2024, we had 48 sales for the whole of Karratha, not us. And August of 2025, I could only find 25 sales, so half the amount.
So that's all of the
all real estate agents. It's just sales in general that's captured
crazy.
through RP Data. Yeah, and then for September, it was 44 last year. So far to date, and this is being filmed on the 23rd. I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, 23rd.
But at the moment, as of the 23rd of September, there are only 11 residential sales in postcode 6714.
That is insane.
So things are really tight.
Yeah.
The buyers are there. Every open home we do, there are so many buyers, and we're presenting multiple offers to our owners on all our properties.
Yeah.
But the properties aren't there. At the moment, I just pretended to be a buyer. I jumped on realestate.com. I searched postcode 6714. You can actually filter there for anyone that's shopping for a property. And right when you click filter and scroll right down to the bottom, you can tick a tiny little box that says to exclude properties that are under offer or under contract.
Oh.
So I excluded them. That left me with only, to pick from in Karratha, 26 properties to look at, to buy, and of that only 20 were houses and only 7 are 4-bedroom houses right now today.
Wow.
For me to buy in Karratha. So not much to pick from at all.
That's insane.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of stock out there at the moment, which definitely is driving prices up at the moment, as we're seeing. Now, rentals. I don't pretend to know everything about rentals these days. I haven't worked in property management for a long time, but obviously I'm constantly looking at real estate and having to let our potential investors know about rental pricing.
Yeah.
I won't say too much about rental pricing because I'm not all over it. Apart from at the moment, and like always in Karratha, it seems to be going up, but it always has little dips, and then it goes up and it has little dips. And with Karratha, because we're such a small market, It depends how many properties are for let that week. You know, there could be only 5 4-bedroom homes available. So then that drives the pricing up again. And then 2 weeks later, there might be 15 4-bedroom homes available, and that then drops it back down again. What I did have a look on realestate.com is what is for rent at the moment. On realestate.com today, not under application, from what I could tell, were 25 properties in total, and of that only 15 are houses, and of that only 10 are 4-bedroom homes. So seems to be very, very limited stock available for rent at the moment.
Moving on, when this comes out, I just thought this was an interesting fact, but when this episode comes out, it will likely be the day of or the day after International Podcast Day. So
International Podcast Day.
Happy International Podcast Day. I actually didn't know it was a thing. I was looking in our scheduling program for social media called Loomly, and it was giving all these little ideas for posts. And International Podcast Day is the 30th of September.
Congratulations to you, Bryce.
And to the show.
To the show. I actually want to say on that, and I made a little note, so it's perfect timing to say it. You and I were recently going somewhere and we're walking in, and before I could even introduce you to someone, and they'd never seen you in their life, they said, "Oh, it's Mr. Real Talk himself, Bryce Mitchell." So congratulations.
Yeah.
People are actually starting to recognise you.
Yeah, and you went to an appraisal?
Yes, so on Friday I went to appraise a property. Hi, Jill. And I asked them why did you give Pilbara Real Estate a call? And Jill happened to say that she's ex-real estate herself, actually. And she, like every person that's been in real estate, she watches real estate and enjoys seeing what's going on. And she happened to say that she's been watching us from afar on social media and Real Talk, and she liked what she saw, which is the reason why she gave us a call.
By the time this episode comes out, we will also have over 1,000 views across all of the Real Talk episodes, and over 100 watch hours across all episodes. So just a massive thank you to everyone who's been watching since the start. Even if you've just started, thanks for all the support, and thanks for everyone who's a big fan. Let's move on to Hot on the Spot.
Oh, I'm scared about this.
I haven't done this in a long time. I thought maybe we should ask some questions that Rob's been asked in the past.
I just want to say to everyone, being his mum, I did ask him to give me these questions, and I would just act surprised when he asked me, but he refused.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give them to me, and I'm scared because I'm a perimenopausal woman and I might not be able to answer on the spot, Bryce.
Well, I was actually going to ask this one, but I realised it was in the last Real Talk, and you answered this already. In the last Street Talk. Remember, regardless of cost, if you could add one outrageous feature to your home, what would it be?
Yes.
And you said?
Yes, a spa. And the reason it would be an outrageous cost is because I have a very lovely 12-metre long lap pool in my backyard. So for me to add a spa would also mean to bury my beautiful pool, but we don't use it anymore. This is our third home we've owned with a pool, and all the others we used to love and use a lot, but, children get older. People get older, and I would love to come home from work now and hop in a nice relaxing spa,
I do admit that would be quite relaxing.
Cooling spa in summer and heating for winter.
Okay.
But that for me in my home, my pool takes up most of my backyard, so it would be a very expensive exercise.
Another one that I asked Rob, if you weren't in real estate now, where do you think you would be now?
Oh, golly, if I wasn't in real estate. Well, when I wasn't in real estate, I was actually working in schools in administration, which was the perfect mum job because I only worked school hours, 3 days a week, and I had paid school holidays, just like the teachers. So that's what I was doing when I wasn't in real estate. If I never found real estate, I think I potentially probably would have maybe found some form of marketing, because I do enjoy marketing.
And last one, what do you think makes our sales team different from other agencies?
Without even having to think, the first thing I think of, and I know I don't mean this by any disrespect to any other
Oh,
agency
anything
at
you
all.
say, it's not.
I straight away think of our care factor. A sale for us is not another sale on the board. Yeah, it's another sale on the board, and I love, I love competing with myself and in that regard. But a sale for me is the happiness it brings to my seller, because they're not just a number. It's someone selling a home to move closer to family, selling a home to upgrade to fit additions to their family, selling a home because of a separation, because of a death. It means so much more. And same with our buyers, and that's feedback we get from buyers constantly is, wow, thanks for returning my call, or wow, thanks for explaining that to me. No other company has done that. So, and that's what I strive so hard to do, is give good service. And I'm the hardest person on myself when I feel that we don't nail it every now and then, because hey, far from perfect, but that is definitely the PRE difference.
Yeah, that's a really great answer. That's definitely going on the socials.
Excellent.
I think, immediately when I thought of that question, I thought it was our response time to calls. Like, we try and make it our priority in the morning to sort out our leads. And like you said, we're not perfect and it might take us a bit, but if you put an inquiry on a property, we're trying to get back to that
As quick as we can, every time.
because we know what it's like. You don't want to be left hanging. Great. Well, I think that was a good episode. Thanks for it.
I've got something for you, Bryce.
Oh.
I don't know if we'll be able to play this, but I thought I'd just throw it out there and see what happens. But I thought, being your mum, I know what happens in your personal life, and I thought you might like to tell your lovely viewers about your first experience being pulled over by the police.
All right, here you go. This is a deep dive with Bryce Mitchell. So last weekend I was driving out, must have been about 12:30. I know.
In midnight.
Crazy. And I hadn't had anything to drink that day. We'd been hanging out at a friend's house, and I was I had a friend in the car, and we're indecisive of what we wanted to do. And I made a quick turn into the right lane to then turn around at a roundabout. And then I noticed the Hilux lights behind me, and I'm thinking, that's a cop. I get pulled over. They do a breath test on me, and I blow numbers, 0.048, and for a P-plater that's illegal. I'm thinking, I have not had anything to drink. So I get thrown in the back of the paddy wagon, I get thrown around at the roundabout, and then we get to the police station, do the test on the big machine, and nothing. I was 000. But yeah, that was my first experience. That's a deep dive with Bryce Mitchell.
So your first time ever being pulled over.
Ever being
by
pulled
the
over,
police.
and the numbers, it blew false numbers. So
And
their thing wasn't calibrated.
What I found funny was, because I've never been in the back of one of those wagons before, the fact that you said there's no seatbelts, there's nothing to hold on
There's
to.
no seat. It's just like it's a bench that must be that high. So if that's the floor, then it's just like that much higher off the ground. There's no seatbelts. You kind of just have to put your feet up and just try to hold on. Yeah, so that was a fun experience.
Yeah, so Mum had to drive down to the cop shop after 1 a.m. on Saturday night to collect Bryce. But you said they were lovely to deal with.
They were lovely.
It was a good experience.
So shout out to the Karratha Police if anyone's watching from there. You were very, very kind, and I was a lot more worried than I should have been, I think. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are new here, please subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on all the links, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff will be below.
Yes, please.
Please comment any questions on our Facebook, Instagram, or comment it just below on YouTube, or email me via the email that's on screen now, which is ea@pre.com.au, for your chance to be featured in the next episode. And without further ado, thanks for a real talk, Mum.
Thanks, Bryce.
Cool.